Well, good day. This is going to be how to navigate through a document and select some text. If you had a hard job to do, like carrying bricks, you could put them on your head and just carry them around. And some people do that. That seems like a lot of hard work. But hey, with just a little bit of technology, your life can be much, much easier. And that's what I'm going to teach you today. Hidden inside this keyboard are lots of great technology that'll help you do your work in a much easier way. Why can't the mouse just grab the cheese that's right in front of him? Maybe he didn't notice it was there. There are hidden things in your keyboard that will make your life much, much easier. And I'm going to show you just a few of them. We're going to learn about the arrow keys. That's kind of the baby way to do things, the arrow keys. And I'm going to talk about this home key. Can you find it on your keyboard, home? And I'm also going to talk about this end key, home and end. And next to them are page up and page down. We're going to use those keys as well. We're going to be using these control keys. Can you find them on your keyboard? CTRL, control. These are going to be great helps to us. And finally, we're going to use the shift keys. We're going to start with the arrow keys. And with the arrow keys, as most of us know, if you press the right arrow just once, you'll move one character at a time. If you press the left arrow just once, you move left one character at a time. You can also use them in combination with the control. If you hold down the control and you tap the right arrow, you'll move one word at a time. Well, I've got a document here that's going to help us with these shortcut keys. It's the first 3 chapters of a book by Charles Dickens called Little Dorrit, and it's many pages long. Let's scroll down a bit and see how many pages it is. It's pretty long. Here's page 2, and hey, here comes a picture of Charles Dickens, and here's his book, chapter 1, and here's page 3, and I can find out all the pages. If I take the zoom down at the bottom, can you barely see it? And I'll slide it all the way over to 10%, and we'll see what we get. There we go. You can see this document is 33 pages long, or 32 pages long. So it's going to be helpful to use those keyboard shortcut keys to help us along. Here I'm on page 12. Page 12 looks great. And if I'm in the top line right about here, if I press the right arrow, we all know that it'll go one character at a time. Right arrow, right arrow, right arrow, right arrow. Yeah, we already know this. It goes one at a time. You ever see kids do this and they just sort of hold it down and it just sort of goes? Yeah, I don't know why they do that, but they do. And the left arrow goes the same thing. Left goes one character at a time. Now, do you remember it did that control? I can hold down the control and tap the right arrow. I'm going to hold down the control and don't let go. And then tap the right arrow, tap the right arrow, tap the right arrow, tap the right arrow, tap the right arrow. What's happening? It's going one word at a time. Now I'm going to let go of the control. I'm going to hold down the control and I'm going to do the left arrow. I have the control held down all the time. Don't let go of that control. I'll just tap the left arrow, left arrow, left arrow. What's it doing? It's going one word at a time. So that's control left arrow and control right arrow. That's pretty easy. The same sort of thing happens with the up arrow and the down arrow. The up arrow goes up one line, the down arrow goes down one line. Control up and control down using those arrows will go up and down one paragraph. Let's see if that's true. I'll press the down arrow and sure enough I go down one line. Down again, down again, down again, down, 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 down arrow. If I go the up arrow, up, up, it goes up one line. I'm going to try this control down and see what happens. Control and tap the down. Hey, jump to the next paragraph. Control and tap the down. Hey, it goes to the next paragraph. Control and tap the down. Control and tap the down. Hey, it's going one paragraph at a time. I'm going to do control up. Control and up arrow. Hey, it went up one paragraph. Hold down the control and tap the up arrow. It goes up one paragraph. So, control up arrow, control down arrow, goes one paragraph at a time. That looks interesting. Let's see what's next. There's the end key and the home key. Do you remember where those are? It says the end key will move to the end of the line you're on, and the home key will move to the beginning of the line you're on. Let's see if that's true. Let's get on a line. Maybe this line looks like a good line. I'm going to press end and see where it goes. I tap end all by itself. Hey, it goes to the end of the line I'm on. I'm going to tap home. Home goes to the beginning of the line that I'm on. End goes to the end. Home goes to the beginning. That was pretty easy. Let's see what's next. Now it says you can do Control plus the end. If you do Control plus the end, you'll move to all the way to the very end of the document. In my case, it'll move to the end of page 32, end of the whole document. Control Home, it says, it goes to the beginning of the whole document. Well, let's see if that's true. So I'm going to try this. Hold down the Control and tap the end. Go to the end. Or hold down the Control and tap the Home. And I'm up on page 1. I'm going to do Control End to go to the end. I wonder what page I'm on. Oh, can you tell? It's down here at the bottom. It says I'm on page 32 of 32. I'll scroll up a bit and see if you can tell where I am. Page 32. I put page numbers on these things. There's a little Dorrit going by. Page 32. How do you get to the top of the document really fast? You hold down the Control and you tap the Home. Okay, let's see what's next. Well, next is the page down key and the page up key. Page down does not go down one page. You think it should, but it doesn't. Page up does not go up one page. It goes up one screen full. Let's see how that works. So here I'm at the top of page 12, and I'm going to try this page down. If I tap page down, you might think it's going to go to page 13, but it's not. It's just going to move to the next screen full. At the very bottom of my screen it says cheering them on, period, even. You see these words down here at the bottom? I'm going to press page down and see what happens. Does it go to page 13? Well, I can see the 13, but I'm not really on page 13. Look what it says, cheering them on, even. You see it just moved one screen full. I'm going to do page up. It doesn't move really up to the top of the page. It just moves up to the next screen full. So I can still see it down the bottom. It says cheering them on, even. I'll press the page down, and on it goes. So it moves one screen full at a time. Screen full at a time, screen full at a time, screen full at a time. That's what page up and page down does. Let's see what's next. Well, next is Control page up and Control page down. Now these will move an actual page. It'll go from page 12 to page 13, for example. Let's see if it works. So here I am at the top of page 12 again, and I'm going to try this. I'm going to hold down the Control and tap the page down. Hey, I'm on page 13. I'm going to do Control page down. Hey, I'm on page 14. Control page down. I'm on page 15. I'm going to try that. Control page up. I'm on page 14. Control page up. Control page up. So I can move a page full at a time by using Control and the page up and page down. Let's go see what's next. Well, what's next is the Control G, means go to, and you have to decide where you want to go. Let's find out what Control G does. So here I'm at the top of page 12 again, and I'm going to hold down the Control. I'm going to tap the G, and G means go to. This is where do you want to go? Enter the page number. Now if I wanted to go to page 1, I could have just done Control Home. And if I wanted to go to the bottom of page 32, I could have done Control End to go to the end. But what if you want to go to page 20? You could do Control G. Type in a 20, enter, and poof, I'm on page 20. Maybe I want to go to page 14. 14, enter, and poof, I'm on page 14. So the go to says you can go to a certain page. What page do you want to go to? Maybe I want to go to page 7. And I'll say go to. Instead of pressing enter, I'm going to do go to, then I'll close. Hey, I'm on page 7. That's the Control G, go to. Now there's another way to go to, and that's by using the Browse button. Let's go see how that works. Well, here's the Browse Object button. It's down here at the bottom of your Word screen. It's got a little circle on it, and that's the Browse Object button. It's got two little arrows above and two little arrows below. And I want to learn about this Browse Object button down here. Let's go find out how it works. So here I am at the top of page 7. I'm going to go find that Object Browse button. It's down here on the right, way down at the bottom, and it's this little circle. That's the Browse Object button. It's got two little arrows on top and two little arrows on the bottom. Let me move this up so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Object Browse button. You can see what do you want to browse for. Do you want to browse for pages? Do you want to browse for sections? We don't even know what a section is. Do you want to browse for graphics? That is for pictures. Maybe you want to browse for headings. And so I'm going to go for pages. I'll click on pages, and I'll scoot this back over so we can see what we're doing. It said browse for pages. I'm going to press the down button underneath the object button. Browse object button, this one, the down one, and let's do, goes to page 8, goes to page 9, goes to page 10, goes to page 11, because I told it to browse for pages. And if I go up, now what was that other key combination that would go page by page? Do you remember what that was? Oh yeah, that was Control, page up, and page down. Now you don't have to browse for just pages, and that's the default, and most people use the default just to browse for pages. But you can browse for other things. First you got to set it on there to what you want to browse for. So I'm going to say I'm going to browse for graphics because I know there's a lot of pictures in this thing. Hey, it found me a graphic. Let's scoot this over and see if it'll browse for graphics all by itself. How do you move to the top of the document really fast? Well, that's right, Control and Home. I'm going to do Control Home. There's a picture, and I'm going to say this little Browse Object button. I'm going to go for the bottom one, and let's give it a click. It finds the next picture, and I do another down, and it finds the next picture, and I do another down. It finds the next picture, and I go another down, because I told it to browse by objects, graphic objects. So it finds the pictures one by one. I could also, let's move to the top of the document, and I could browse for headings. Let's go change the Browse Object button to say, instead of browsing for pages, instead of browsing for graphics, you can browse for headings. Alright then, I'll do this one, headings, because I made certain headings. This document has the first 3 chapters of Charles Dickens' book plus his preface. So I'll move to the top of the document, and I have it set to go find headings. So I'll do down, and it found the first heading, preface, and I do down again, it finds the next heading. See, I made a heading. See how it's blue and a little bit bigger? That's a heading. I'll do browse for the next one, and browse for the next one. Hey, there it is, and those are the headings that I had set for. You can browse this object button for pages, or headings, or graphics, or just all kind of things. Hey, let's go see what's next. Well, what's next is how to select things. You can select a character at a time by using the shift and the arrow. And the secret is that if you hold down the shift and move the mouse in any way, it'll select text. Shift and move the mouse in any way. Well, it says here that you could also highlight one word at a time by double-clicking the word. Better write that down. You can highlight a sentence by doing Control and then click in a sentence. That'll highlight a sentence for you. This is the one I use often, is to highlight a paragraph. Just triple click inside of a paragraph. It'll highlight the entire paragraph for you. If you want to highlight just one line, you can click in some mysterious thing called the selection bar, and I'll tell you what that is in just a minute. I'll show you how it works. You can select from where you are to anywhere else by holding in the shift and clicking in a new place. I'll show you how that works. You can highlight from where you are to the end of the document. Remember, how to get to the end of the document was Control End. But you can hold down the shift and then do Control End, and it'll highlight from wherever you started all the way to the end of the document. Shift is going to be selecting. Shift starts with an S. Selecting starts with an S. Shift means select. Or if you want to highlight the entire document, you can just do Control A. Well, let's go back to our document and see if any of these things work. It says if you want to highlight one letter at a time, like here I am at London, I'll hold down the shift and I'll tap the arrow, tap the arrow, tap the arrow, tap the arrow, and I'm highlighting, I'm selecting one character at a time. Well, that doesn't seem too efficient. If you wanted to highlight an entire word at a time, for instance, maybe I wanted to get rid of this word close, I could double click the word close and then just press delete on the keyboard because I've highlighted it now. Let me undo that. And now here's how some people do it. If they want to get rid of the word close, they will use the right arrow, right arrow, right arrow, right arrow, right arrow. Then they will do backspace, 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 backspace. And they'll say, hey look, I got rid of the word. Well, come on, man, what do you, carry bricks on your head? Stop carrying bricks on your head. That's ridiculous. So let's put everything back where it was, and I want to get rid of maybe this word stale. Just double click the word. Double click the word, highlights the word, then you can delete. And if you want to get rid of and, double click the word and press delete on the keyboard. It's much faster. Now I only want to get rid of the comma, backspace. Hey, I'm all set. So if you want to highlight a single word, just double click a word. You can pick a word like melancholy, double click. What if you want to get an entire sentence? Well, in our notes it said hold down the Control and click anywhere in the sentence. So I'm going to click right here in the middle of the word maddening. I'll hold down Control and I click maddening, and hey, it highlights the whole sentence. Let's do this one right here. I'll hold down the Control and I'll click the mouse, and hey, it clicks the entire sentence. I'll go down here, hold down the Control and click, and it'll highlight that entire sentence. The next one was to highlight an entire paragraph, and here's what you do. Just triple click. 1, 2, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, it highlighted the entire paragraph. Let's go down here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It highlights the entire paragraph. Triple click will highlight the entire paragraph. So the next one is to highlight one line at a time. So at the bottom of my document I made some lists like this, and it says you have to click in that mysterious selection bar. The selection bar is the left margin over here. Now when I'm over here, the mouse sort of looks like an I-beam, and I'm over here, sort of an I-beam. When I'm over here, the arrow points towards the words. And so if I get right on this first line, I'll just give it a single click, and poof, it does that entire line. And I can say, you know what, I wanted that to be bolded, so I'll make it B for bold. Or maybe I'll do this one. I can highlight the entire line, italics, and then bold, and then italics, and then bold, and then italics. Do you know how to make italics? Control I, bold, there. So you can highlight a line at a time. This often works great when you're doing headings or single lines like this. Maybe I wanted to change this typeface, and I'll say, you know what, I don't like that Cambria, I'm going to change it. I'll use this mini toolbar, and maybe I'll make it Bell. Maybe I think Bell looks better for this one. There, so you can get out, this is called the selection bar out in the left margin. The right margin does not have the selection bar, only the left margin. If you want to highlight from where you are to some new place, you could use Shift and click. For instance, maybe I wanted to do 2 paragraphs. Let's go to page 12. Do you remember how to go to? Control G. It says you want to go to headings. I wonder why it wants to go to headings. Because the last time I set that browse, I set it to go to headings. So it remembered that. So I'll go up and say I want to do pages. Here's page. And I'm heading for page 12. And enter. Hey, I'm on page 12. Close up this box. If you wanted to do more than one paragraph, you could swoosh it across, I guess. Get it right about, a little bit too much, not enough, a little bit too much, right about there. But what you could have done is just start right there and get your mouse over there, get ready for it. Okay, I'm ready for it. Hold down the Shift and click. It'll go exactly where you wanted it to go. Maybe I wanted to do the next paragraph or two. Let's go look. Maybe I wanted to do from excited all the way down to this semicolon. So I could get the mouse insertion point right here where I wanted it to start and get my mouse right about there. Looks pretty good. Get ready. Okay, I'm going to hold down the Shift and I'm going to click the mouse and it'll highlight to where I wanted to go. The next one is to highlight from where you are to the end of the document. Let's use a new document for this one. What about this document? If you wanted to highlight from where you are to the end of the document, that would be Shift, Control, and End. For instance, this document says auto insurance. It's got 2 little columns. It looks great. Maybe I think, you know what, that's enough. And I want to get rid of all this stuff all the way from the title all the way to the end of the document. So I'll hold down the Shift, I'll hold down the Control, and I'll tap the End. And that highlights from where you are to the end of the document. And then I can delete it. Hey, it's done. That looks great. Let's do undo and put that back. Maybe I want this section to look just like that other section. So I'll enter a new page break. That's Control Enter. And I would like this part to be 2 columns just like the previous page. I want to highlight from here all the way to the end of the document. So I'll do Shift and Control and End. And there you go. And so I can turn it into 2 columns like the other one was. I'll do this one. I'll do 2 columns. Maybe I want this S to be like that big A was. That's a drop cap. So I'll highlight just the little S. That's under Insert. And over here it says Drop Cap. I want it to be dropped, and poof, that looks pretty good to me. So that's one way of using Shift, Control, End. Here's another example of using Shift and Control End. I typed this whole thing up in blue, and then I decided, you know what, blue's kind of stupid. So I think I'll click right about here, and I want to highlight from here all the way to the end of the document. So hold down the Shift, hold down the Control, and tap the End. And it'll decide, you know, I don't really want blue. Maybe I want just automatic black is fine. Give it a click. And maybe I'll click here and think, you know what, the font's not very good either. I'm going to change the font. I want to highlight all the black stuff. That is, I want to highlight from here all the way to the end of the document. Hold down the Shift, hold down the Control, tap the End, and I can change it to maybe Times New Roman or something. Maybe I'll change it to an 18 font and look a little better perhaps. I think, yeah, that's about how I want it. Sometimes you'll want to highlight your entire document. Let's look at an example of that. Here's the case of identity. It's a story about Sherlock Holmes, and you can see down here it's 12 pages long, and the whole document is single-spaced and 12 pages long. Well, I've decided, you know what, I wish it was all double-spaced. So I want to highlight the entire document. I'll click anywhere in the document, it doesn't matter where you are. Hold down the control and tap the A for all. Now I'll make it double-spaced. Do you know how to make things double-spaced? I could use this line spacing up here and say I want 2, or I could have just held down the control and tapped the 2. That would have done the same thing. Now the whole thing is double spaced. It's up to 23 pages. I'll scroll down a bit and see if it was really double spaced. Hey, the whole thing's double spaced. That seems right. Maybe I don't like this font. I decide, you know what, I want to highlight my entire document and I want to change the font. How do you highlight the entire document? Do you do it the baby way? Do you start here and then just hold it down, 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 and just scroll all the way down to page 23? Is that what you do? Do you carry bricks on your head too? Maybe you're one of those people who carries bricks on their head. No, why don't we do it with a little bit of technology? If you want to highlight the entire document, just do Control A. Hold down the Control and tap the A, and then you can go up here and change the font, change it to anything you want. Maybe you want Courier New, give it a click, and poof, the whole thing is Courier New. Is it really? Let's scroll on down a minute and just go look really quick. Does that look right? This thing is 32 pages long now. How do you get to the bottom really fast? Oh yeah, you do Control and End. End goes to the end. Hey, look at that. I'm on the bottom of page 32. Can you see that? Wow, that was a really long video. I hope you're still awake. Are you still awake? Wake up! Wake up! The video's over. That was navigating through a document and selecting text. I hope you took some notes on things you've learned. That's about it.